Dr. McClelland, I have just a handful of further questions for you. First of all, when in late 1982, or in the course of 1982, you became aware from reading US reports of the likely connection between blood and blood products and AIDS, do you recall having any specific discussions with Dr. Main about the implications of that in terms of the use of US imported factor concentrates?
Yes, as I said, Dr. Main, I saw on a very regular basis, almost weekly basis, and yes, it certainly would have been a topic of conversation. With regard to implications for blood products, yes, I mean, Dr. Main was supportive of the Scottish link-up, and therefore, which involved the use of NHS products. And obviously the advantage of that was lower risk of transfusion transmissible infection. I can't really be more specific than that.
Okay. Now, I asked you about the arrangements in relation to commercial concentrates, how they were ordered and provided, and your evidence or your recollection was that the change from December 1984 onwards did not apply to factor concentrates, commercial concentrates, which continued to be ordered and supplied directly by the Haemophilia Centre. Can I just ask you to look at one document in relation to that, which we didn't look at earlier, BHCT 0000503. You'll see the date of this document is the 1st of August 1985. If we go to the next page, first of all, you'll see this is in fact the first page, and it's about factor VIII usage by the Northern Ireland Haemophilia Reference Centre. We understand this to be a document authored by Dr. Main. If we go back to the first page, it's the second page of the document, but the first on our system. Just if we could look at the first paragraph. Halfway down that paragraph, there's a sentence that reads, from December 1984, all commercial material and NHS material has been ordered by us through the Regional Blood Transfusion Service to enable at long last a regional budgeting system to exist for the haemophilic population of Northern Ireland. Now, as I understand your evidence earlier, Dr. McClelland, and indeed I think the later document that we looked at from 1989, your recollection, as I understand it, is that this is incorrect. Commercial material was not ordered through the Regional Blood Transfusion Service.
No, it was not ordered through the Regional Blood Transfusion Centre. No. After ordering the product, the commercial factor VIII products, the invoices would have been forwarded to the transfusion centre, if you like, or stroke the Eastern Board Treasury Finance Department for payment, but no, they would not have been ordered by us.
Okay, thank you. We can take that down, thank you. Next question on a different topic. Were the Northern Ireland Blood Transfusion Services donor recruitment and donor exclusion policies and practices subject to inspections by SNBTS or the PFC?
I can't remember. I can't remember exactly, but I would imagine that during some or all of those audits, there would have been some checks made on our donor selection policies to check that they were in compliance with the Scottish policy.
And then the plasma that was collected via plasmapheresis, and this is in the period prior to your move in the 90s to the new building, was that sent to PFC?
Yes, yes, that was all. That was really all sent to PFC. Yep.
Were any additional tests, such as ALT or other tests, done for plasmapheresis donations?
Well, not related to infection, transmissible infection. There were no additional tests. Any additional tests would have been related to the particular reason for, like an antibody or measurement or something, but not related to safety, transfusion, transmissible infection, etc.
What was your understanding as to the reasons for the increased rates of hepatitis B amongst the military?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I suppose in Northern Ireland, the evidence was that the native population, if you like, had a particularly low incidence. But I think it would be speculation for me to say what the reasons might be.
Given the fact that homosexuality in the military remained illegal until 2000, what consideration, if any, was given to the particular risks of continuing collections from the military, particularly given the fact that hepatitis B and HIV had similar transmission routes?
Some consider we were selective to some extent with military sessions in that certainly if a regiment or whatever had been abroad in the recent past, certainly in the 6 months to a year, I can't remember exactly, we would not have gone to those centres. But with regard to the specific point you made, yes, there's it's probably a valid point that some consideration might have been made.
Completely different issue now. We were looking earlier at documents relating to the notification of cases of transfusion-associated hepatitis. And you may recall one of the documents, I think probably one of the ones authored by Dr. Barucha, said that notifications from general practitioners were rare. Was any thought given to running some kind of awareness-raising campaign for GPs in relation to that particular problem?
I can't remember any campaign specifically for GPs. I think one of those documents that was shown, I think maybe does refer to, it was my letter to Dr. Gunson regarding expectation that the numbers might increase. And I think that probably followed communication that went out from the Eastern Board at our urging that doctors should be encouraged to start to notify these cases. I don't know if GPs were included in that. They could well have been.
And then, given the transfusion services' reliance upon military donations, was thought ever given to providing the AIDS leaflet directly to every soldier or all the barracks and units within Northern Ireland, or running some specific leafleting session for military donors?
there weren't specific leaflets for military donors. I don't think there was
But in relation to the general AIDS leaflet, was any
Yes.
thought given to trying to ensure, other than at ordinary donor sessions, that leaflet was made available, for example, by providing it to the military institutions from which you might then seek donations?
You are referring to the AIDS leaflet
Yes.
for blood donors?
Yes.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm not sure that I fully understand.
Let me.
I don't think we did. I don't think we did provide any additional information.
The thrust of the question was this, Dr. McClelland. Let me put it in a better way, I hope. You told us earlier that for quite a prolonged period of time after the leaflet was first introduced, it was simply left at the donor sessions for the reasons you've already told us.
Yes.
Given that there was potentially a high risk from military donors, that the question was really whether steps could have been taken to at least highlight the risks of donation to the military by, for example, delivering a load of the leaflets to the various barracks and so on within Northern Ireland.
Yeah. I think we may have done the same as we would have done for workplace sessions, where we would have. I'm fairly sure we did deliver leaflets in advance to the local contact or organizer, the leaflets for distribution or distribution in whatever was appropriate way. I think we would have done the same with the military as that, but I'm not completely certain.
Thank you. So those are the additional questions I'm proposing to ask from those suggested by core participants. I'm just going to see whether Dr. McClelland's legal representatives have any questions. No.
Well, I have no questions of my own.
Dr. McClelland, is there anything that you would wish to add?
Maybe just two things very quickly. Just I hope my evidence has been of some little bit of help, at least in respect of the position in Northern Ireland. And secondly, just to the infected and affected, I just hope at the end of this marathon process that some of the questions they've been asking for so long will be answered. They will get answers to those. That's all.
Sir Brian.
Well, certainly your evidence has been of help to us. We have a better and fuller understanding of the way in which the Northern Irish Service was run and structured. Although you struggled with some memories going back as long as you haven't complained about that at all. I just want to thank you for trying and to thank you for your staying power in lasting until 5 o'clock this evening from starting at 10. So thank you very much for that and for your evidence.
So, sir, the inquiry now won't be sitting tomorrow because we've managed to complete Dr. McClelland's evidence today.
So looking ahead then?
Looking ahead, on Thursday we will be hearing from Dr. Gabra and on Friday from Dr. Bolton.
Yes.
And I'm asked to mention, sir, that an update about the inquiry's timetable, both for the hearings between now and Easter and then the hearing plans for the rest of the year, will be published on the inquiry's website, I'm told, imminently.
Yes, I think people will see that we have a full year in anticipation, though we remain determined to finish as soon as we reasonably can, consistent with reasonable thoroughness. Till tomorrow, till Thursday, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.